Part 3, The Struggle, the real diet killer. The only way out is through. Robert Frost. The quicksand. Thoughts, feelings, and body sensations are like quicksand. What happens when you struggle with quicksand? You sink and drown. If you're stuck in quicksand, your natural tendency is to try to decrease contact with it, so you kick and fight it. But the only way out is to increase contact with it. If you lean back, spread your arms and legs out, and willingly touch more of it, you float to the top. When your thoughts, feelings, or body sensations overwhelm you, you break your diet and fall off the wagon. Think about it. How many times has this happened to you? You get stressed out, you get overwhelmed, you've had a hard day, or you're busy at work, so you just grab whatever there is and you go off your diet, fall off the wagon, and you're back to square one. You'll have the thought that this isn't working, or I deserve a little treat, I had a bad day, I can't handle dieting today, this is too stressful, I didn't prepare anything, so here I am at work, I'm stuck, I've got nothing, with me, I'll just grab something quick from wherever, somebody can just bring me something. Or you'll have feelings like, I'm a failure, I can't do this anymore. Or on the flip side, like we talked about in the last part, that, maybe you're having so much fun and having ice cream would make this even more fun. Or I hate my body, I just want to make this feeling go away and I don't care. You might be having body sensations like, I'm so tired and I just want to eat those cookies and veg out in front of the TV. That pasta smells so good and I just need to have it. I'm so tense. I need to eat some fun food and relax. Remember how we talked about your thoughts, feelings, and body sensations being the thing that we're trying to change, right? We're trying to either feel better, or we're either trying to eat to feel better, or we're dieting to feel better. So it's those thoughts, feelings, and body sensations that really get the best of us and knock us off our diet and cause us to fall off the wagon again. Then we think to ourselves, well, no problem. I'll just control my thoughts. So let's take a look at that. Imagine that I had $1 million to just give to you. And the only thing you have to do is not think of a pink elephant. I have a machine that can read your thoughts. And I want you to sit in this chair, and over the chair is a 500-pound block of concrete that's going to fall on your head if the machine detects that you have a single thought of a pink elephant. Would you take the challenge? No? What about for 2 million? 20 million? Why not? Try it now. Whatever you do for the next minute, okay? That's 60 seconds. For the next minute, I want you to not think about pink elephants. And whatever you do, for God's sake, please, please do not think of a big neon pink elephant standing right in front of you. Ready? Go. The reality is you cannot control your thoughts. Your mind is always running. It's always judging and chattering, making decisions. It just runs all the time on its own. The mind is negative most of the time, so most thoughts are negative, anxious, or pessimistic. Don't worry though. Your mind is supposed to act this way. Human beings have been living in the wild and in caves for way longer than they've been in modern societies. In the wild, a negative, paranoid, anxious mind will help you survive. Thoughts like, you're going to starve, or it's going to eat you, you're not going to make it. Think about it. This would help you. These thoughts will make you be cautious and not take risks. They will keep you safe. And, this works great in the wild. If you're out and there's a lion or a tiger or something that's going to eat you, it works great, but not so much in modern society. The negative, judgmental mind will keep going even when there are no real threats. It will turn inward and begin ripping at you. So the mind pretends that it knows the truth. Your mind might tell you, you can't resist this temptation. Is it true just because your mind says so? It might judge you. You're weak. Does this become fact just because you have that thought? The mind only gives opinions, and these opinions are based on assumptions and a negative outlook, which again is totally okay, totally natural. It's what the mind was designed to do, but think about it. Is it fact? Is it the truth just because your mind says so? So when it comes to dieting or doing anything good with your life, you'll find that your mind will try to tear you down and put up roadblocks more often than it will try to help. Your mind is only trying to keep you safe, so no need to hate it. It is only necessary to understand it with compassion. So what are thoughts? Thoughts are just thoughts. They're just words in your head. They're not necessarily the truth or facts. And they really are faulty, and they're just based on opinions and or judgments. So if this is true, there's some good news. You don't need good thoughts to make good choices that support a healthy lifestyle. Thoughts can be bad or good, and you can still make decisions that will create a healthy, vibrant life. Try this. Pick up a pencil or another small object and repeat this phrase over and over. I can't carry this pencil. I can't carry this pencil. I can't carry this pencil, and so on. Now take the pencil and walk around the room while repeating the phrase and having this thought. I can't carry this pencil. I can't carry this pencil. I can't carry this pencil. Thoughts are just words, and you still can do what you need to do while having them, and you can carry them with you. A cool little exercise that I have is the leaves on the stream. What I'd like you to do now is please pause the video and listen to the leaves on the stream meditation on this page. Please use headphones if you can. I want you to know that you are not broken and there is nothing to fix. So your mind is working exactly like it's supposed to. Negative thoughts, feelings, and body sensations, they're a part of life. These experiences are not the problem. The problem is trying to fix or change them. Trying to fix these inner experiences prevents many people from taking the actions they can take to live healthy. Think about this for a minute. What really gets between you and your health and weight loss goals? Is it actually the external circumstances that you tend to, blame for not being able to lose weight? Or is it really just the thoughts, emotions, and body sensations that keep knocking you off and causing you to fall off the wagon again and again? This is exactly how you can get stuck. You can get stuck for years waiting for this stuff to go away because negative inner experiences will never go away. And if you're waiting for them to disappear before you start living healthy, you will never be able to lose weight consistently and permanently. And just look back over the history of things. How have things gone for you in the past? You've been waiting for this stuff to go away. You're trying to find the way to approach weight loss and lose the weight and live a healthy lifestyle without ever having to experience this stuff. Or once it's gone, then I can start. How long have you been trying to do that? And how long has that gotten in the way of you losing weight consistently and permanently? Again, it's a question of accepting yourself as you are, not fighting these experiences, but understanding them and having compassion for yourself. Again, if you try to change your inner experiences by eating, whether it's through emotional eating of unhealthy foods to help yourself feel better or dieting to feel better, you're gonna get caught in the vicious cycle. You feel bad, so you eat, and that makes you feel better for a little while. Then you feel guilt and self-loathing, along with many other negative experiences, and the original stuff you were trying to get away from comes back also. So now you have the original painful stuff plus extra stuff to deal with, along with a body that feels like junk because you ate unhealthy food. So you eat more to make the pain go away. On and on, bigger and bigger. The problem just grows and grows. The pain becomes more and more. The hopelessness, the doubt, the feeling like a failure, it just becomes more and more and worse and worse. You can see how this cycle can pack on the pounds over time. And I know for myself, at 235 pounds at my heaviest, I felt like there was no end in sight. That cycle just kept hooking me in every single time. This is called emotional avoidance, and it doesn't work. It just spirals down and down, worse and worse, right? I was just going to become heavier and heavier, and I really saw no end in sight. So this really was not working. Fighting inner experiences does not work. The more that you struggle with or try to change your inner experiences, the more you get entangled with them. Remember, we talked about the quicksand, and the more you try to struggle to get out of that quicksand, the deeper you sink, right? The worse it gets for you. And so it's the same thing when we struggle with our inner experiences. In ACT, there's a saying, if you don't want it, you've got it. If I can't have the thought that I'm unattractive, if that is the thought that triggers depression and makes me want to fix my depression with food, and I'm trying hard to diet and not have that thought, it's like trying not to think about the pink elephant. Remember, when you tried not to think about it, all you could do was think about it. So if you're trying not to think about how unattractive you are, and every time you have that thought, it makes you depressed, and then you want to go eat the food, how are you ever going to escape that vicious cycle? So trying to fight or change that inner experience just pumps them up and makes them huge and scary. It makes you spend your time and energy fighting a battle you can't win. And it keeps you from progressing on your health and weight loss journey. The monsters across the chasm. Just imagine for a moment that your cravings or difficult thoughts and emotions are monsters that roar and growl at you from across a chasm. There's a rope across the chasm. The monsters have one end and you have the other. If you fall into that chasm, it means you broke your diet. They're trying to pull you into the chasm. The more you pull, the more they pull. And while this tug of war continues, you can't do anything else but keep pulling. Instead of pulling, if you just let go of the rope, the monsters would still be there, but they can't really hurt you. They're on the other side of the chasm. They can only make scary noises, but now you're free to do what you want, and you don't have to fight anymore. Even though you never got rid of the monsters or won the fight, you got to live life the way you wanted to. And they just became part of the scenery of your life. Leaning into it. When you're skiing down a steep slope, the only way to make it down without falling is to lean forward into the drop. This is really hard to do because the body instinctively wants to lean back, away from the drop. The problem is, when you lean back away from falling, you lose stability and then you fall. So when you experience obstacles on your health journey, willingly lean into them. Embrace them and let them do their thing. Feel the cravings. Let the negative thinking and difficult emotions run wild and wear themselves out. I know this can seem, quite crazy, right? You might be feeling like, Angie, how in the heck am I going to do that? Because that stuff gets so big, so loud, and so scary, so intense that I'm not sure what to do with myself. Lean into it. Come closer to it. Make contact. Remember the quicksand. This is your solution to struggling. Being willing to have uncomfortable experiences in the service of the things that are most important to you is the solution. Remember, you can't control inner experiences just like you can't control the weather. You are practicing willingness when you deliberately approach discomfort in the service of doing something important. It's not an attitude, it's an action and an act of courage. You can't make qualifications on willingness like, I'm only willing to experience this as long as it doesn't get too difficult. It's all or nothing, do or do not. Willingness is an act of courage. You don't have to accept every pain that comes your way in life. You only need to be willing to experience discomfort in the service of things that are important to you. So this does not mean, every difficult experience or every uncomfortable situation or every, difficult thing that comes up that you've got to just be willing to experience pain and hardship and difficulty from all angles of life. No, this is only things that are specifically important to you. So let me give you, just a little example of what willingness is in a nutshell. You are okay, just the way you are. Your negative mind, your difficult feelings, and body sensations are okay, just the way they are. No need to change or fix them. You don't need to spend time or energy trying to fix yourself. The problem is getting stuck struggling with or trying to avoid these experiences. So think about that for a minute. It's not that you need to get rid of, change, or fix anything inside of yourself. It's that you're stuck trying to avoid or fix or change or get rid of these inner experiences. And if you think about it, all it does is make the problem worse when you fight with it. These inner experiences, these uncomfortable, unwanted experiences just become huge and scary. And before you know it, you're off track with your health and weight loss goals. So instead of avoiding or struggling with these experiences, if you just accept them as they are, not try to change them, you will find they're actually not that bad and you can take them with you along your health and weight loss journey.